It's been a minute, hasn't it, guys? I might just put a hat on. My hair is very different, very different. Now, this is a video on how to start a YouTube channel, and I believe this probably could be episode 1 if I was to redo it again, but this is episode 2, and that is the second most important thing, which is audio. Now, you obviously can tell from this video compared to other videos, this audio is much better, and I'm not using the most expensive gear by any means at all. In fact, I'm using gear that I've had for quite some time when I started playing Fortnite in 2017. Long story short for this episode is I am going to help you improve your audio. Now, audio is very important. I think it's actually more important than audio video itself. I mean, you can have podcasts with great audio. You don't need video. Now, this idea came from DSLR shooter. Now, keep in mind, I do have a Yamaha MG10XU that I use for my podcast, and also I use for my Twitch stream. However, it's not portable. I'm not able to shoot wherever I like, which makes this, this whole TechDeer setup unachievable. So for $40, I have picked up some great gear that I can use now for a portable setup wherever I want to go, and I can kind of hook it up to whatever microphone I have next, which is great. Now, people might try to say that you can use shotgun mics that go on straight directly onto the camera. If they don't have their own preamp, I wouldn't advise it, especially with Canon cameras. I don't know about the cameras nowadays, but I know if you have an older camera or cheaper camera you buy used, those amp drivers are quite bad. And to show you an example, I use this microphone on that camera, and the audio sounds quite bad. So cover your ears. About how to improve your lighting, your editing skills, your sound skills, workflow management skills. Now, obviously that room hasn't got the best audio treatment by any means, but you really have to bring up the gain to really hear my voice. And unfortunately, again, the amp has a bad noise floor, a much higher noise floor compared to something like a $20 adapter, such as the Saramonic Smart Rig 2. Can kind of will only really set you back no more than $100. You can get a pretty cheap microphone. I've just had these lying around, so I'm using this one. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. I think a microphone is something that you should put more money into, and you can get quite a good microphone going over $100 mark. I would recommend the Rode Pod mic, but it really depends on your setup. So don't come to for now. Don't take this video as a legitimate microphone audio review. There are plenty of reviewers out there that have a much better opinion, such as DSLR Shooter or Caleb or Gerald on Dumb. I'd highly recommend you go through and have a look through their roundups, because they have a really good audio roundup, and you can make your decision from that based on what your needs are. Back to the $100. So microphone would only really cost you no more than $60. Some microphones actually come with XLR cables. I believe this specific microphone came with XLR cables. So I was able to get the cables with the microphone, so that was about, I think, $60, no more than that. Now, to set up, it really depends on your situation and how far you want the camera to be away from you, and what lenses you're using, and your affordances of length as well, I guess. But I prefer to have my audio station be as closest to me as possible. The reason why I have it like this, and would advise doing it, although there's more and more adapters, is I'd like to have my audio and the reason is I'd like to have my audio and my lighting in the same sort of setup, because more often than not, I'm going to need to have a microphone near my face and a light source near my face too. Now, to set up is quite simple. This setup is quite easy. So what we need first is to set up the Saramonic. Now, you do need a 9-volt battery. I did pre-record this episode before, but I wanted to re-record it, and I had to run out and get a 9-volt battery to apply charge to it. So keep that in mind. Now, depending on your microphone, you need to set it up. You need to add 48 volts or not. Luckily for this microphone, I do not need to add the 48 volts, but some microphones you do. Now, this audio headphone output, I haven't quite got it to work. I have seen videos that saying that you can have live audio monitoring, but I believe you need to have that attached to the smartphone app by Saramonic for you to have that live monitoring. But I have not set that up. I haven't played with it, but that's beside my use case. As another option, you could also have this jack go into a recorder, such as the Zoom H1N or any of the Zoom series. and then you can have a live ordering from audio monitoring from that. And that's what I do intend to use in the future as a fail-safe and a backup for this. But for now, I don't need to do that. Then need to attach a TRRS, a TRS adapter. Now, I'm not an audio engineer and I haven't played with it, so I don't know for facts. But for the audio, you need to adjust or adapt the TRRS or TRS line before you plug it into any TRS line, such as an input from your camera or any extension cable. Then plug this adapter or the extension cable into the camera, and then you're good to go on the camera side. You then control the gain. It really depends on what it is, and I've maxed this gain out for many reasons. I know this microphone is quite quiet, as well as the Canon amp is quite quiet as well, so I'm just wanting to max that gain, because I obviously the higher the gain, the higher the noise floor is increased, but the noise floor of this Saramonic is much lower than the noise floor of the Canon, so I'm trying to play with the lesser two evils. That's basically the hardware, guys. That's all it is. I've prepped it and treated it and put it on a mic stand. I put it on a light stand for a green screen backdrop, and I've just attached a couple grips there that you can. I'm using one grip right now to hold a light up, and it's doing a great job. I think these things are really good to have. Now for the camera side, it really depends on what camera you're using. You may have to do some pre-config, but we can go through that together now. So it's quite simple. Depending on where it is for the Canon, you go to the shooting settings, and then you go into the audio side, and what you need to do is you need to turn from automatic to manual, and what that allows you is for you to fine control your settings, and then it's not going to play with it when it's on with this onboard system. That's step one. Step two is you would like to turn off wind attenuator, or you want to turn off audio attenuator or wind filtering. You want to turn that off. And the third thing you need to do is you need to now just play with tests, do some testing, and you want to adjust the audio Canon side down as low as you can possibly get it, and then when it's peaking about -12. That's a safe way to have it, because you're really reducing the audio noise floor from the camera, which again is bad. You might as well spend $100 on audio and just be done with it. It's a headache and a half, and I don't recommend it. And that's it. I would recommend you check out Caleb from DSLR Shooter, and also Gerald Undone. I'll add some roundups to the playlist, and check that playlist out. It's pretty good. I don't know who's going to hear this, but these videos are purposely hamstrung. I'm purposely not doing a certain thing and a certain item until I get to that part of the video, and you might think that's a bit strange and why, but and it might seem counterintuitive, but I want to prove and show you that as these videos come out, the videos can increase in production and it is obtainable. It's there's no great feat that I've done. I'm not doing some Hollywood magic to make these videos extra special. I'm not using any extra special cameras or lenses to achieve what I'm doing now. So as we go on, you'll see the magic to my madness, but until then you have to put up with I'm looking at it now, a very flat scene. Maybe I'll change the contrast, I don't know, but a very flat, sad scene. Was quite boring, but much better than before. That's for another video. Guys, I hope this helps. This is very bare bones stuff. There's much more stuff to come. Again, I kind of want it, for myself, do it the hard way, and then go from there. And, through this series, you can see that, damn, he's coming along. And if I do anything, even just a smidge of what he's saying, then I can do that as well. Not to say that it's easy, because a lot of hard work is, and I don't want to undermine any hard work. Anyway, I should get out of here. It's too long. Yeah, too long. Too long. I'm looking at the pale monitor, and I'm just cringing about how pale I am in this light. But yeah, see you later, guys. Be good, and I'll see you next time. Bye.